Hey, it's working.
We're here. Yay.
We have an album review of the one of the most anticipated albums of the year, Iron Maiden with the Book of Souls. I believe this is the first album we've ever reviewed from Iron Maiden. Did not review the Final Frontier.
Okay. I was gonna say it's my first.
Haven't reviewed the past stuff either. But we've talked about Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden is my second favorite band of all time. And this is their 16th studio album. It's their first in 5 motherfucking years. And it's a double album. It's a beast. The number.
I was trying to formulate a way that I could make that into a joke, but I decided it had too much effort. So,
Yeah.
no.
What do you think, sweetie?
This album is... It's Iron Maiden. I mean, that's honestly... I mean, I could probably end the review right there. Done. It's Iron Maiden. Done. That's all you need to know. Boom. But, I mean, it's one of those things where I think it's funny, where I'm going to say this, and when, 2-3 weeks ago we reviewed Disturbed, and it was a negative when I said that, where it's like, this sounds like everything Iron Maiden's ever done, but in this case it's a good thing, because with Iron Maiden, you know, it's more of like a rough outline of what they want to do, whereas like, again, you could have brought up the example, like Disturbed, it's almost formulaic, like here we're going to have this kind of riff, and then it's going to go into this, and here, and then boom, and that's why all the songs sound the same, whereas Iron Maiden takes the similar sound, but molds it into different songs.
And they don't write songs about smoking weed when they're grown men.
Nah.
Just saying.
But this isn't a video bashing Disturbed. We already made a video doing that. This is about Iron Maiden. Yeah, this album's awesome. I mean, it's really weird that it's a double album. There's only 11 songs. I mean, there's an 11-minute song, a 13-minute song, and an 18-minute song, to put it in perspective. So, and even like right in with the opening track, "If Eternity Should Fail," like that's a great opening track. I love the intro, like I guess the horns or whatever that come in for the intro. Really nice. It's a really nice touch, and then it comes busting in, and it's, you know, one of the epic Iron Maiden pieces. And then right after that with the Speed of Light, you know, that's your more jammy Iron Maiden songs, like or you know, kind of like 2 Minutes to Midnight. That's a very jammy song. That's what that song was, which I thought that was a good place to put it to balance everything out. And like I said, there's just a lot of, you know, what you've come to expect from Iron Maiden. Lots of harmonies, lots of trots and triplets and things like that, and then guitar solos on this album are awesome. They're all really good. If I'm not mistaken, don't all the 3 guitarists do solos, or there's only 2? Okay, so I don't know who does what when, but they're all very talented. So, and yeah, songs that really stick out to me was "The Red and the Black." Yeah, that's what's called. That song is probably my favorite song from the entire album. That middle section of that song is like the best. Is in my opinion the best part of the entire album. It's just so epic in a lot of ways, and it's really cool. Another song I thought sounded cool was, I'm trying to remember, "The Great Unknown." It's another great song, and then the fucking last track, "Empire of the Clouds." I didn't have the best opinion of that song first time I listened to it, because it might have just been that I was, you know, doing things while I was listening to it, but it was like, I was listening to it, and it's like, yeah, it's like the first 4 or 5 minutes, and I looked away, and boom, and it's at 12 minutes, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? But on further listen to, I'm like, yeah, I can fucking dig all this. The only other thing that stood out was that the second to last track, "Man of Sorrows," the opening riff sounds like Wasted Years. And I was like, it took me a second. I was like, at first I was like, wait, what? And so I looked at the song name because I was confused for a second. I was like, oh, all right. But again, it's Iron Maiden. It's with 16 albums, you're allowed to sometimes sound like yourself. So, but yeah, everything's awesome. Everything fits so nicely together. I mean, it's not the beefiest album, production wise, but then that's not what Iron Maiden is. Iron Maiden's very melodic, and it's just awesome. Probably the best songwriting, I think, in metal. Bruce Dickinson still sounds pretty good. I mean, of course he's not gonna be up to like the same caliber that like even he was like when he first came back in the band with Brave New World. He, of course, like he's like in his 50s or 60s now. Like, and I mean also with the thing when they found a tumor on his tongue or whatever. That that could be something, but he still sounds pretty fucking good. He still beats a lot of other vocalists in terms of singing ability, and I mean the vocal melodies and the patterns and the lyrics and everything that he's a part of with this album is awesome. Drum wise, the drums fit. I mean, Iron Maiden, at least to me, has never really had the most. The drums never really or the band that when I think of drums, I don't think Iron Maiden. Or when I think of Iron Maiden, I'm not like, yeah, they got the drums are awesome. That's not what first comes to my mind, but it works and it fits perfectly, and it's just another very solid Maiden album. So, yeah.
When an album gets announced, I rarely get extremely excited. I just go, cool, I'll listen to it. But when Maiden announced this album, I got very excited, and I'll say this: there isn't one release this year that has made me happier than this album, in my opinion. Iron Maiden always seems, no matter what, they kind of lift you up, and they put a smile on your face, and that's every fucking song on this album, and I just could not get over how good this album is. This album, to me, with Iron Maiden, as long as they've been around, as old as they are now, this album almost has no right to be this good, but it's just fucking good, and it's awesome. And this is the best album that they've put out since Brave New World, in my opinion. I enjoyed The Final Frontier. I enjoyed A Matter of Life and Death. Dance or Death, you can take it or leave it. But this album just floors me every single time. And it's the only album that I want to listen to. I just want to... I don't care. I just want to listen to this album over and over and over again. And two, Iron Maiden stuff, their run in the 80s with Bruce Dickinson is always probably going to be the best stuff that they've done. But I look at their era when Bruce Dickinson came back to the band with Brave New World up until now as almost just as good as that stuff in the 80s. And it really pisses me off when people say that their stuff now sucks. It's kind of different. It's not as, as intense or anything, Some of the songs in the 80s, they rip, and they got a lot of energy to them. These songs are a little bit more laid back. They're longer, they're epic, they're more, melodic, and that's awesome. And it's just two really great runs of Iron Maiden albums. And to me, Iron Maiden through the 80s and now and everything, they're just top-notch, top-quality musicians. Their musicianship is through the fucking roof. Their creativity is still incredible, in my opinion. Yes, they use some of the same riffs, kind of the same patterns, like the intro Wasted Years, to kind of use that again. It's slightly different, but it's very, very similar. And then some of the riffs are very Iron Maiden. And that's cool, but it's the way they take all those things and put them together that makes every song unique. So the album starts off with If Eternity Shall Fail, and I love that intro, and then I love how it just busts in, and that guitar lead is fucking phenomenal. And then you get to Speed of Light, which, like Keith said, it's, that song just jams, and it's probably the shortest track on here, and that's a pretty solid song. And that's the first song they put out a couple weeks ago for this album, and, I heard it and I'm like, yeah, it's whatever. I wasn't really the biggest fan, but in the context of the album, it's just much better. It's much like when the Final Frontier came out, they put out El Dorado first, and I'm like, I don't know, it's whatever. But then in the album, it's cool. And then it gets to, The Great Unknown, which has just an eerie fucking atmosphere in the beginning with the guitar. And then you get to the Red and the Black, which is my personal favorite song on here too. And that song takes you on such a fucking journey. And I absolutely... I think it's honestly one of the best songs Iron Maiden has ever written. I love about 3 minutes into the song, I just love kind of the verse that goes on in the beginning of that song, where it's just the rhythm guitars are just like dun, 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 and it's fucking crunchy, and I'm like, yeah, and then they have this awesome lead over top, and Bruce Dickinson's just fucking wailing, and it's like, yeah, and then it gets to the middle part, and they do that Iron Maiden chant type thing, whatever you want to fucking call it, that Iron Maiden does, and it's like, that moment right there is the moment where I'm like, this album is incredible, and that is just fucking awesome. And there's another track on there, it's slipping my mind, where they do that type of vocal thing, and it's just as good. I thoroughly enjoyed the extremely long songs on here. So the Red and the Black, Empire of the Clouds is just awesome. They're engrossing, and they just they really hold your attention. And I feel these songs, Iron Maiden to me has never really, they write a lot of long songs, but they're never long just for the sake of being fucking long. They have a purpose, and every moment, every note has a purpose, and that's what I felt about those two songs. I think they're phenomenal, and they, Steve Harris, I believe he said something along the lines of, yeah, that song kind of defines everything that Iron Maiden's about, and I couldn't agree with him any more. It really does. This whole album defines what Iron Maiden is, man, and I love the title track. I love everything on this album. I think the fucking guitar work is phenomenal. Adrian Smith is one of my favorite guitarists of all time, and you can kind of tell which one's soloing if you really pay attention. You really know, like with their past work, who does what solo. Adrian Smith's a little bit more technical. I feel his is a little bit more thought out than Dave Murray and Janik, I believe that's his name. Those two are a little bit more shreddy, but I always loved Adrian Smith. Just his solos are so well executed, and all the solos on here are phenomenal. But I think some of the best things guitar-wise happens to be with the guitar harmonies and melodies that they have going on. They're so good in every single song that they're used, and I don't know, man. This album makes me really, really happy and very excited, and it's like, yeah, and Bruce Dickinson sounds great. I feel he kind of stays in this type of range. He doesn't really go above and beyond or anything like that. Doesn't really try anything new, and that's fine. I mean, he's one of the best vocalists to ever fucking exist in metal, and it's just another pretty solid performance. But lyrically, Bruce Dickinson is a fucking mastermind lyrically. He just tells awesome stories with his lyrics and all kinds of stuff, and the lyrics are cool on this album. I just love this album, man. This album to me is album of the year material, and that's cool to me. It's kind of interesting. I had this thought. 2013, we got a new album from Black Sabbath. That was really good. 2014, we got a new album from Judas Priest. That was really good. 2015, we got Maid. That was really good. So who's next? Yeah, I don't know how Metallica's will turn out, and who the fuck knows if it's going to come out next year? They've been in the studio for an eternity.
That's not what I was saying. I wasn't saying whether or not it'd be good. I mean, it'll be Metallica, and it'll probably be all right. I was more saying that it's probably just not going to come out next year.
Yeah,
because they've been in the studio since 2010. Yeah, we're writing a new album, and then they get sidetracked. Let's go.
And I feel like they've actually recently came out and said, yeah, we're really, really, really working on it right now. It's like,
And then it's like, hey, we're touring in Europe again. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We don't like to play in the United States.
I don't know who put out who's another titan of metal who would put out an album. Hasn't put out an album in a while.
I don't know, but apparently Ozzy's working on a new one.
Okay, that might be it then.
An Ozzy solo album. But anyways. Fuck. Iron Maiden, they also confirmed, well, they showed off their brand new jet that they're going to be flying. Bruce Dickinson's is going to be flying around. But that says, like, the Book of Souls World Tour on it. It's, like, insane. But it just, this band can do it. They're one of the, best selling artists ever around the whole fucking world. They've sold millions and millions and millions of albums, and they sell out wherever the fuck they go. And, they've confirmed they're doing a world tour in 2016, and I will be purchasing tickets the second they go on sale. I ain't missing that shit. Iron Maiden, they, because I was thinking about this the other day too. I think that when we saw them in 2012, I think that's my second favorite show. I just don't know if any show will ever top when we saw Anthrax and Testament that first time. But damn, Maiden just fucking killed it.
I see. My only thing is that I don't know.
Phenomenal.
Both times that we saw Anthrax in clubs, they're up there in my opinion. The other time
the first time just felt super fucking special.
Kind of.
I don't know. We're getting sidetracked now.
Heavily, but that's okay.
Yeah. Just listen to this fucking album, man. It's. I feel no one expected this album to be this good. They just thought it was going to be a good Iron Maiden album, but not a great Iron Maiden album. It's awesome. That is good. Great.
Fucking solid album. Terrific.
What would you give this?
I'll give this album a 9.5 out of 10. It's a really good album. Really good.
Definitely stole my score.
Yeah.
9.5 out of 10 for me. I don't know if it's my album of the year or not. We'll find out in a couple months.
We'll fucking find out.
Jesus,
I'll have to listen to. It's only 4 months. 4 months.
Oh God.
And there's still shit coming out. I mean, not as much, but there's still shit coming out.
A lot of shit coming out.
Or at least for me.
Yeah. Nile, Counterparts, North Lane. A whole bunch of other shit's gonna happen. We'll review Five Finger Death Punch if they decide to not be pussies and put it on Spotify.
And actually put
I
the
ain't
fucking
buying
album.
that shit until I hear it.
Steve,
maybe it'll floor me.
Maybe it's on YouTube. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. We'll find it. Sucking ass. See you later.